Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 5, Chapter 5, Text number 2. Ahantaste samachittaha prashanta Vimanyavaha suhrudaha sadhavo ye Mahatsevam dvaramahur vimuktes Tamodvaram yoshitam sangi sangam. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. One can attain the path of liberation from material bondage only by rendering service to highly advanced spiritual personalities. These personalities are impersonalists and devotees. Whether one wants to merge into the Lord's existence or wants to associate with the personality of Godhead, one should render service to the mahatmas. For those who are not interested in such activities, who associate with people fond of women and sex, the path to hell is wide open. The mahatmas are equipoised. They do not see any difference between one living entity and another. They are very peaceful and are fully engaged in devotional service. They are devoid of anger and they work for the benefit of everyone. They do not behave in any abominable way. Such people are known as mahatmas. Purport by Srila Prabhupada. The human body is like a junction. One may either take the path of liberation or the path leading to a hellish condition. One can take these paths how one can take these paths is described herein. On the path of liberation, one associates with mahatmas, and on the path of bondage, one associates with those attached to sense gratification and women. There are two types of mahatmas, the impersonalist and the devotee. Although their ultimate goal is different, the process of emancipation is almost the same. Both want eternal happiness. One seeks happiness in impersonal Brahman, and the other seeks happiness in the association of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. As described in the first verse, Brahma Saukyam, Brahman means spiritual or eternal. Both the impersonalist and the devotee seek eternal blissful life. In any case, it is advised that one become perfect. In the words of Chaitanya Charitamrita, Asatsanga Tyaga E Vaishnav Achar Stri Sangi Eka Sadhu Krishna Bhakta Ara. Krishna Abhakta Ara. To remain unattached to the modes of material nature, one should avoid associating with those who are asat, materialistic. There are two kinds of materialists. One is attached to woman and sense gratification, and the other is simply a non-devotee. On the positive side is association with mahatmas, and on the negative side is the avoidance of non-devotees and woman hunters. Thus ends the Bhaktivedanta purport. So we are reading in this chapter Lord Rishabhadeva's teachings to his sons. And in this verse, the very second verse of Rishabhadeva's instruction, he is saying, Mahat Sevam Dvaram Ahur Vimukte. Mahat Sevam, service to Mahat. great devotees, spiritually advanced personalities. In the definition, in the translation, if you see, Srila Prabhupada is first generalizing. Mahat Sevam means somebody who is spiritually advanced. They could be impersonalists or devotees. Impersonalists are also spiritually advanced. They are not like materialists. So, Mahat Sevam Dvaram Ahur Vimukte. Mahat Sevam Dvaram is the path or is the gateway for Vimukte. Tamodvaram Yoshitam Sangi Sangam. One is Vimukta Dvara, Mukta Dvara or Mukti Dvara. Another is the Tamodvara. If you go through one gateway, you will find bright light. Another gateway, you go through, it is dark. So we may wonder why somebody wants to go to such a dark. A lot of people want to go there. Tamodvaram Yoshitam Sangi Sangam. Yoshitam, women, Sangi, attached to Sangam, such association. So, Rishabhadeva is saying there are two pathways, two gateways. One is Mahat Sevam, another is Yoshitam Sangi Sangam. You can go to a darker place. And these Mahantaste Samachittaha Prashantaha Vimanyavaha Suhrudaha Sadhavaha. And in the next line, next two lines, Rishabhadeva is describing the attributes of these Mahatmas. So, this is what Rishabhadeva's teaching is. One gateway to Vimukti, another gateway to Tamodvaram. In this you have to serve greatly advanced spiritualists, not necessarily devotees, spiritualists. But in the other one, Yoshitam Sangi Sangam, who are attached to sense gratification and women and so on. And those people who are spiritually advanced, what are they? Mahantaste Samachittaha. They are equipoised. Prashantaha. They are very peaceful. Samachittaha. Persons who see everyone in spiritual identity. Samachittaha. How is everyone equal? Actually, none of us are equal. We are all different. Age is different, height is different, weight is different, gender is different. But we are all samachittaha because as mahatmas, they see the spiritual identity. There is a spirit soul in everyone, and that's how samachittaha is possible. Prashantaha, very peaceful, situated in Brahman or Bhagavan. Vimanyavaha, without anger. And Prabhupada has further described, one must distribute Krishna consciousness to persons who are hostile without becoming angry at them. Suhrudaha, well-wishers of everyone. And sadhavaha, qualified devotees without abominable. Sadhavaha, actually the real import is good behavior. That's the definition of a sadhu. Good behavior. So it's a very big responsibility on us that we behave appropriately. So one can attain the path of liberation from material bondage only by rendering service to highly advanced spiritual person. One can attain the path of liberation, vimuktehe, from material bondage only by rendering service, sevam, to highly advanced spiritual personalities, mahat sevam. These personalities are impersonalists and devotees. Whether one wants to merge into the Lord's existence or wants to associate with the personality of Godhead, one should render service to the mahatmas, mahat sevam. For those who are not interested in such activities, either merge or associate with the personality of Godhead, one who is not interested in such activities, who associate with people fond of women and sex. Yoshitam sangi sangam. The path to hell is wide open. Tamodvaram is open. The mahatmas are equipoised. Mahantaste samachittaha. They do not see any difference between one living entity and another. Samachittaha. They are very peaceful. Prashantaha. And are fully engaged in devotional service. And that's why they are prashanta. They are devoid of anger. Vimanyavaha. And they work for the benefit of everyone. Suhrudaha. They work for benefit of everyone. They do not behave in any abominable way. Sadhavaha. Such people are known as mahatmas. So what we should notice here in Srila Prabhupada's presentation of Krishna consciousness, which is actually Prabhupada is genuinely, accurately, carefully, sensitively representing the Vedic wisdom, we do recognize there are impersonalists. We do recognize that's also a kind of a spiritual growth, a spiritual development. They also possess some of these good qualities. Samachittaha, prashantaha, bimanyavaha. But then, among them, there are two kinds. Some of them are impersonalists, some of them are personalists. So we do not deny Brahman, pursuit of spiritual life to merge into Brahman, and such impersonal understanding, we do not deny it, but we say that it is inferior. It is not the very highest level of spiritual development. There is one very nice explanation Srila Prabhupada gives. The impersonalists, what do they say? Their Mahavakya is Aham Brahmasmi. I am Brahman. I am Brahmasmi means I am spiritual. Aham Jada na asmi. I am not this material body. I thought I am the body. All my education, all my friends, all my neighbors, all my family, they were only telling me, and I was also behaving, I am the body. I should look good, I should dress well, I should eat well, I should have a good house, that is what I am. So, the first understanding, Aham Brahmasmi. But that's not enough. That's only a one level. Suppose you are told, you have lot of money in the bank. Your father left 1 crore rupee and passed away. And so you are a rich man. Just awareness that I am a rich man is not enough. You have to draw the money, use that money in a nice way, get a big house, get nice car, whatever, activities. So you must, that richness should translate into an activity which will give you joy. Just thinking, I'm a rich man, I'm a rich man, I'm a rich man. There's no much fun in that. It should next result in activity. So I am spiritual. I am not this material body. The material body under the laws of nature will get old, will get diseased, will die. That's the nature of this material world, but I am spiritual. That alone is not enough. So, but that's an essential stage. So, Aham Brahmasmi is included in the understanding of bhaktas who want to associate with the Lord. So, one is impersonalists who want to merge into the existence of God. And how the Lord deals with them, we know, He merges them into His Brahma Jyoti, His Jyoti, the effulgence that comes from Him. And what is the meaning of merge? Will become one. Because A living entity is an individual, can never lose its individuality. It's just that he will become a particle of light in the rays of light and remain like that for a long time. But then that will not give the full pleasure for the full satisfaction to the living entity, and hence the living entity again looks for activities. That's the Bhagavatam's conclusion. And hence that Brahman realization is inferior to the Bhagavan realization. And in Bhagavan realization, what do we want to do? We want to associate with the Lord. It's a very big thing. You see, Krishna many times in the Bhagavad, you will come to me, come back to my abode. That abode is my abode. You will come to me. So if we go to him, if we go to his abode, what do we do there? We associate with him, we render service to him, we interact with him. So all of this is personal realization. So both these realizations are described in the Vedic literature. In fact, not only these two realizations, even if you want to have good life in this material world, how to have good life, even that is described in the Vedic literatures. That's why Vedic literatures are known as Kalpa Vriksha or Kamadhenu. It can fulfill everybody's desire. Somebody looking for enjoyment in the material world, Vedas will give a way to enjoy. But the interesting thing about the Vedas is that it regulates this even sensual activities. So that's why we see here Srila Prabhupada is having taking a wider definition of Mahat Sevam. This principle, Mahat Sevam, serving great devotees, is one of the foundational principles of devotional service and Krishna consciousness. Like say for instance, if you want to take a driver's license, what is the first thing that comes to our mind when you want to take driver's license? You must be 18 years of age. If you are a child, you cannot take. Right? That's called eligibility. Eligibility. It's a qualification that enables you to get the driving. If you are 15 years, 16 years, you'll never get driving license. Right? That's called the eligibility. Say for instance, young boys, young people, they want to get into IIT. What is the eligibility? You have to pass the entrance exam. I don't know, now it is 2 entrance exam, whatever. Those things keep changing. So you have to pass the entrance exam, you can get in. Or you want to join IIM, you have to pass an entrance. That's the eligibility. Now, we all know, for all of us, devotional service is very important. We all want to become devotees of Krishna. What is the eligibility to become a devotee? What does Krishna say? Krishna says that in the Bhagavad Gita. And Prabhupada says, the first sentence in the purport, you will see this. Those eligible for elevation to the transcendental position are mentioned in this verse. The first sentence of the purport. I'll read the verse. So this is the eligibility criteria. And Krishna says 3 things in this verse. The eligibility to enter devotional service, to come to the transcendental platform, to develop bhakti. So in this verse, Krishna is defining what is the eligibility. Does he say 18 years? No, he doesn't say 18 years. Does he say you must have some level of intelligence? No, he doesn't say that. So what does Krishna say? What are the 3 things that Krishna says? Esham tva antagatam papam jananam punya karmanam te dvandva moha nirmuktha bhajante mam dhrudhavrataha. This is 7th chapter, towards the end. So, Prabhupada calls this as a verse which describes the eligibility for devotional service. And what are the three things that Krishna says? Antagatam papam. We should be free from sinful activities. If someone is interested, if someone is involved and entangled in sinful activities, that's a disqualification. Esham tva antagatam papam jananam punya karmanam. And those who are acting, they are those who are doing punya karmanam. Here, the word punya, we should not mistake it as some mundane pious activities. You see, in Sanskrit, the words take on a wide range of meanings. Punya means very pure, very virtuous, very, very fine. That is punya, punya karmanam. So here, punya karmanam means devotional activities. So, antagatam papam, punya karmanam, doing devotional activity. And in this way, the third, dvandva moha nirmuktha, being freed from the delusion of the dualities of the material world, not running after the dualities of the material world. Understand that the duality is just a presentation of the material world. That's the nature of the material world. I shouldn't be running after one and avoiding the other. That should not be. I should not be deluded by that. I should not be carried away by that. I should not be under the spell of such delusion. These are the three qualifications. Antagatam, punya karmanam, dvandva moha nirmuktha. And if one has these three qualifications, what is the result of that? Bhajante mam dhrudhavrataha. With a firm determination, they will be rendering devotional service. So these are the three qualifications. And so Prabhupada begins the purport. First I'll read the translation. Persons who have acted piously in previous lives and in this life. This is how Prabhupada is explaining. Jananam punya karmanam jananam. Who have acted piously. Pious actually, punya karmana. Actually, pious means devotional activities. Whose sinful actions are completely eradicated. Antagatam papam. Who are freed from the duality of delusion. Te dvandva moha nirmuktha. Engage themselves in my service with determination. Bhajante mam dhrudhavrataha. And the first sentence in the purport is, those eligible for elevation to the transcendental position are mentioned in this verse. In the second part, there are two paragraphs in this purport. Although in the first paragraph, Prabhupada is describing these, elaborating on these three qualifications. The second paragraph, Prabhupada quotes the verse of today. Mahat sevam dvaram ahur vimukte. If we render devotional service to if we render service to great devotees, spiritually advanced personalities, these three qualifications will come about. See how important Mahat sevam. It enables us to acquire the qualifications to get bhakti. It is stated in the Srimad Bhagavatam. I'm reading the second paragraph, only the first sentence. I'll read. It is stated in the Srimad Bhagavatam that if one actually wants to be liberated, he must render service to the devotees. But one who associates with materialistic people is on the path leading to the darkest region of existence. You see, Mahat Sevam Tamodvaram. So, this is how serving devotees, serving great personality. We must come across a great personality, and if we are not fortunate, we will come across a great personality who is an impersonalist. You must be fortunate that you don't fall into that. You should come in touch with a pure devotee and render service to him. Serving him, serving a great personality, it opens up, brings all the qualifications that are required. You see in Krishna consciousness, you see in the life of Srila Prabhupada, you see in the history of ISKCON, what was actually happening. Some of these Westerners who were looking for spiritual life, they came in touch with Prabhupada, they were drawn to him. Prabhupada was giving his time. He was giving his time explaining to them very patiently, telling them all the different aspects. If you see those early days in 26 2nd Avenue, Srila Prabhupada had an apartment behind and he would be there whole day. Anybody would come and they could ask question and he would keep answering. Sometimes, when you are answering, Prabhupada had a system. Sometimes he would become tired. He was an elderly person. So he had a system. Wherever he was sitting, he would just lie down. And then they all will understand. Swamiji is sleeping, wants to rest. He will rest for about 15 minutes. Again he'll be up and again he's ready. And he would do that the whole day. Practically. Very patiently spending time speaking to them Krishna consciousness. See, this was the association, sadhu sangha was actually going on. There's another verse in the Chaitanya Charitamrita about this same principle. Krishna bhakti janma moolahaya sadhu sangha. Janma Moola, Prabhupada translates the word Janma Moola as the root cause. Moola means the root, Janma means the root for its birth. Janma Moola. The root cause of Krishna Bhakti. Again, same principle, eligibility. What will give us Krishna Bhakti? Krishna Bhakti Janma Moola Haya Sadhu Sangha. The association of a devotee and rendering service to him is the root cause of bhakti. Krishna Prema Janme. When one has developed Krishna Bhakti, Krishna Prema, then what happens to this Sadhu Sangha principle? Krishna Prema Janme Tenho Punaha Mukhya Anga. Tenho, that same association of the devotees, Punaha Mukhya Anga becomes the main principle. So, Sadhu Sangha not only is the root cause, even after developing Krishna Prema, this Sadhu Sangha, association of the devotees, continues to be the important Mukhya Anga, continues to be an important principle of devotional enrichment. So, how important Sadhu Sangha is. There is another interesting verse from the Bhagavatam. I'll read this. Bhavapavargo brahmato yadha bhavet. Bhava means, we know this material world, material existence. Bhava apavargaha. Liberation from bhava. Apavarga means to end and liberation. Bhava apavargo brahmato yadha bhavet. Brahmataha means wandering. The living entity is wandering in the universe, all of us, right, as living entities. We were born in a certain house, in a certain family, in this lifetime. In previous lifetime, in some other life, we were born in another situation. Maybe in this planet or some other planet or some other part of the universe, we don't know. Brahmataha, wandering. When this wandering living entity becomes yadha bhavet. Bhavet for what? Bhavapavargo yadha bhavet. When this wandering living entity is eligible for liberation, apavarga, bhava apavarga, yadha bhavet, when that living entity is eligible for liberation, what happens to him? This is Krishna's statement in the Bhagavatam. Janasya tarhi achyuta sat samagamaha. The first thing that happens to him is he'll come in touch with a great devotee. You see, that is the power of association with a great devotee. That's what happened to all of us, isn't it? We came in touch with ISKCON. We came in touch with devotees. We came in touch with Prabhupada's books. We came to some festival, something. And wow, this is Sat Samagamaha. Achyuta Sat Samagamaha. Janasya Tarhi, at that time, when the living entity which is wandering is eligible, then the Lord arranges that the living entity should come in touch with a pure devotee. So that's why every devotee who has come in touch with Srila Prabhupada's movement is very, very valuable. It's a special living entity. In the whole universe, the living entities are wandering. Somebody has come in touch. So it's very special. So we should be careful ourselves, and we should be careful and help others that great opportunity should not slip away. In this principle of sadhu sangha and association with devotees, which Rishabhadeva is saying is very important, there is one instruction of Srila Prabhupada which is very interesting. Like Prabhupada gave many definitions of initiation. I'll read this definition of initiation, which is a very striking definition. One of the very, very special definition. The first sentence goes, there are two sentences, I'll read one after the other. This is from a class that Srila Prabhupada. See, Srila Prabhupada, very special. He had a very special ability to present Vedic knowledge in a very, very succinct manner. This is a great qualification of Srila Prabhupada. Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur saw that. He had that. He was actually sent by Krishna to communicate what is the real intent of the Vedic knowledge. That's why the way Srila Prabhupada says, his words have to be really valid. In other words, Yahare Prasade Bhai, the words coming from the spiritual master should be Guru Mukha Padma Vakya Chitte Te Korya Aikya. Literally applies to Srila Prabhupada's words. We have to take his words so seriously. Because especially his words, Krishna has empowered those words. You will see this. It's a great example of this. But these words may disappoint some people. I'm just giving a warning ahead of time. Bhajana Kriya means one becomes anxious. So that's why I said it may unsettle some people. So we come to do spiritual life, we come for bhajan, we come for this one, so that we'll be freed from all anxiety, we'll become peaceful. But Prabhupada says, bhajana kriya means one becomes anxious. It's going to increase your anxiety. Straight away Prabhupada is saying. So, what is this? Bhajana Kriya means one becomes anxious. The effect of sadhu sangha is to become anxious how to execute this devotional service properly. See, the effect of sadhu sangha is that the effect of sadhu sangha is to become anxious how to execute this devotional service properly. So when sadhu sangha, what happens in that interaction is that the person who is receiving this association, he will become anxious how to execute devotional. He understands devotional service is so important and he wants to execute that, and he's not just that, okay, I will take it up, I will try it out, and no, he will become anxious. I will do it, I must do it. How can I do it properly? And when that anxiety comes, that anxiety, in the next sentence, this is a third sentence, not two sentence, third sentence, Prabhupada says, that is called initiation. You see, if we have not developed that anxiety, we are not really initiated. Although we have gone through 25 years back, 20 years back, 30, I went through a grand ceremony, I had a big feast, I put the banana into the fire, all those things we might have done. But if that anxiety, if that has not come, only the external rituals have happened. That is called initiation. See how Srila Prabhupada presents these things. What is this Diksha? Bhajana Kriya means one becomes anxious. The effect of sadhu sangha is to become anxious. How to execute is to become anxious. How to execute this devotional service properly. That is called initiation. So, when we are all supposed to be sadhus. Srila Prabhupada has somehow permitted us, right? Although we don't have any great qualifications, great behavior, all those things. That's expected. And Prabhupada wants us to do sadhus, give sadhu sangha. We must test whether somebody comes in contact with us, either may not be short time, maybe longer time or whatever, whether we are able to create this anxiety in that person to execute devotional service properly. That is the test of sadhu sangha. And then I like to close with one last thing. It's very important. There is, I want to highlight the connection between 3 verses of the Bhagavad Gita. I'll read one after the other. With that I will close very quickly. I'll try to do it as quickly as possible. These are very, these things really were very serious, very important verses which changed Arjuna's paradigm. Of course, Arjuna is a pure devotee, we know. But then Bhagavad Gita shows there are certain inflection points in the thinking of Arjuna. So in the 11th chapter, I'll read the 33rd verse. Here it is. Krishna showed the Virat Rupa. And in the Virat Rupa, it was display of all the material energies of the Lord as manifested in this material world in one place. Right? That is Virat Rupa. All of the energies, because that's what Arjuna asked. Krishna, you are saying, I am this, I am that. Rasoham apsu kaunteya, prabhasmi shashi surya yoho. I am all these things you are saying. All the material, yad yad vibhuti mat sattvam srimad urjitam eva, all the glorious, powerful manifestations in the material world, they are all my energy, my manifestation. So you are saying all this energy is all yours. I thought you are my friend, you are my cousin, but you are saying this is what you are. Right? So, can I see you with all those energies? And Krishna says, you cannot normally see. But anyway, because you are anxious, you are eager to see, I will bestow you with a special vision so you can see. And now you see. And he showed him the Virat Rupa. And how when he saw the Virat Rupa, what was the first description that Bhagavad Gita describes? It looked like 1,000 suns had risen in the sky simultaneously. Imagine one sun. We can't even look at one sun. Right? It's so glaring. One sun we can't see. Imagine 1,000 suns rose in the sky simultaneously. That was the experience. So after seeing all these things, Arjuna was completely bewildered. He was shaken. His heart was filled with fear. He bows down. Krishna, please pardon me. As a friend, I have spoken to you lightly, in jest. We sat together. But now I understand. You are this. Right? So when Krishna showed Virat Rupa, one of the things that Arjuna saw was, because it's not only all material energies, right? One of the material energy is Kala. And Kala very nicely arranges for us in the form of cause effects, a slow unfolding of different activities, unfolding of our own karmas, giving the soul an opportunity to experience all various desires the living entity had in forgetfulness of Krishna. That's what is happening to us here. It's an opportunity. That's how slowly Kala is unfolding, and slowly sun rises, we wake up, hunger, have breakfast, I want to enjoy this, and then something else, some other activity. It goes on. Kala is unfolding. But now in Virat Rupa, he showed the Kala also. Arjuna could see past, present and future. And so he saw one of the ghastly things he saw. All the Kauravas' army was just entering into the mouth of Virat Rupa and getting crushed. So Arjuna saw that, this battle, Krishna has already decided the outcome. And that's why Krishna says, Tasmatvam uttishto yashola bhasva. This is 11th chapter, same, Virat Rupa. Middle of the chapter, 33rd verse, 55 verses are there, 33rd. Tasmat tvam uttishto, uttishta yashola bhasva. Tasmat. Whenever the word tasmat means, it means therefore. Therefore means conclusion. I've said so many things. Therefore, that's the use of the word therefore, right? Tasmat. Tvam uttishta yashola bhasva jitva shatrun bhungshva rajya samruddham. Therefore, rise, Arjuna, and Yashola Bhasva, you will get Yasha, fame. Jitva Shatrun, win over these enemies. Bhungshva Rajya Samruddham, and you will be able to enjoy this great kingdom. Mayaivaita nihitaha purvameva. Mayaivaita nihitaha. Nihitaha. I have already killed. Nihitaha purvameva. I have already killed all the Kauravas. Nimitta matram bhavasavya sachi. You just become an instrument. So when this happened, Arjuna understood this battle of Kurukshetra is Krishna's plan. He has already decided. Mayaivaita. I have destroyed, I have killed all of them. So it is Krishna's plan. This battle of Kurukshetra is happening. And so, now, nimitta matram bhavasa, you just become an instrument. And after saying these, How does Krishna conclude this chapter? Mat karma krin, mat paramo, mat bhakta sanga varjitaha. Mat karma krin. Do my work. Krishna is saying, do my work. And Prabhupada says, this is the essence of the Bhagavad Gita. This verse, 1155, Prabhupada calls that the essence of the Bhagavad Gita. Mat karma krin, mat paramo. Consider me to be the supreme. Do my work, mat karma. Prabhupada uses in the purport also Krishna karma. We should do Krishna's work. Mat karma krin, mat paramo, mad bhaktaha, become my devotee, sanghavarjitaha, free from attachment, nirvairaha sarva bhuteshu, no enmity towards any living entity. Yaha, who does that, saha, that person, mam eti, he will come to me. He will come to me. So Krishna is saying, such a person will come to me. So Arjuna understood. Now Krishna wants this battle of Kurukshetra to happen. He is saying, I have already killed him. Aita nihitaha nimitta matram bhavasavyasa purvam eva. I have already decided. I have killed them. You just become an instrument. So 1133, 1155. I want you to appreciate this Srila Prabhupada's greatness. How he relates. So 1133, 1155. Next, I want to read 1868. Ya idam paramam guhyam madbhakteshvabhidhasyati bhaktim mayi param kritva mam eva eshyati asamshayaha. This also is about mam eva eshyati. You will come to me. So just like for Arjuna, the battle of Kurukshetra was Krishna's work, and he urged Arjuna, do this. Prabhupada points out, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's parampara points out this. This is not there in other parampara. They don't have this careful, sensitive understanding. After speaking Bhagavad Gita, Krishna is saying, what I have explained to you, Arjuna, is a confidential knowledge. Ya idam paramam guhyam mad bhakteshvabhidhasyati. One who is explaining this to others. Bhaktim mayi param kritva. He does great devotional service unto me, and he'll come back to me. This is Krishna's work. What Arjuna could do for Krishna, each one of us can do for Krishna, because it is Krishna's work to spread Krishna consciousness, to share this knowledge with everyone. I'll just close with one small story. When Srila Prabhupada used to take a morning walk, he used to take the morning walk with a few devotees. Generally, temple presidents, GBCs, sannyasis, they would walk. Sometimes, of course, others also would jump in and they would also go. When Prabhupada was walking, sometimes he would stop, put his cane down, and then say, Prabhupada would create the dramatic effect. And then when Prabhupada would walk very quickly, right? And devotees were all trying to catch up. And sometimes he would stop, he would put the cane down, and then all devotees will gather around. They want to hear. And there was also a microphone recording. Good, they recorded. We can also hear those things now. So one such opportunity in Los Angeles, Prabhupada was taking a walk. He stopped, he said. And then he said, he quoted that Prithvita Chayato Nagaradi Gram Sarvatra Prachar Hoy Bemorana. He quoted that verse and he said, Krishna's name, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's glories, has already spread. It is according to the Lord's plan. It is going to spread everywhere in the world. You act and you take the credit for spreading Krishna consciousness. He made this statement, stopping, planting his cane firmly, getting everybody's attention, and repeating this. This Krishna consciousness movement will spread everywhere. You work for it, and you take the credit. You see the connection between 1133, 1155, 1868, and Srila Prabhupada urging us that we must do this service. And Rishabhadeva is saying, thousands of years ago, serving the devotees, pure devotees, great personalities, opens up for us the path of liberation. So important. Srila Prabhupada, his movement, his service for all of us. We'll stop here. Grantaraj Srimad Bhagavatam ki, Srila Prabhupada ki jai.